What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 5 different drills to improve your press releases, okay? So we're going to be talking about how you guys can beat a physical DB. What are some of the releases you can do? What are some of the traps you can set for him, and just drills to work on those specific situations, okay? But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want over an hour and a half's worth of specific content where we give you a 2-week-long wide receiver training schedule, and we give you a 49-minute long video on 20 different press releases, when to use each release, then drills with sets and repetitions for all those releases, check out that very first link in the description, fellas, for our route running Bible. Hope you guys could check that out. We'll really give you some value. Let's get started with this video. All right, guys, so this first drill we're going to be talking about is to work on your single jab release, okay? So this is when you got to just get off the ball quick. Like maybe you come up to the line of scrimmage, maybe it's like cover 0, quarterback's getting some pressure, and you just got to get off the line, but you still want to be able to sell the inside move, right? When it comes down to press releases, what you got to be able to do is sell with your upper half. That's what the DB is going to be watching. The DB's watching your hips, DB's watching your number right here. He's not going to be looking at your shoulders, not going to be looking at your head. So you actually have to throw with your upper half to try to get him to move. So that's what this drill's working on. So you got 4 cones right here. All you're going to work on is just stepping over the line to work on you stepping outside of the DB's frame. So you're literally going to line up here. It's going to be on a command or at your own pace, and you're just going to step once, and then we're going to come off. So we're going to do that all the way down those cones. I'm going to show you how it's going to look full speed, but that's specifically for that one step to get you guys to step outside of the DB's frame, to be sudden, to be quick, to really force a reaction out of him. Make sure that when we do that step, we don't open up. I don't open up my chest. I don't open up my hips, because this is a not explosive position. This, where your toes closed and the weight's on the inside arch of your foot and you're in a good pad level, that's an explosive position. So let's try to get there every single time. All right, guys, the next drill we're going to be talking about is to work on pretty much the exact same thing with the opposite foot. And we call that a wide step release. So this is when you want to take an inside release on a route, okay? So you're going to do the same exact pattern going through these cones, but instead of stepping with your front leg, you're going to step on the opposite side of the cones, and you're going to step with your back leg. So again, everybody knows to try to get a DB to move off that platform, you got to be able to threaten him vertical. You can't be going just to the side, doing all these moves behind the line of scrimmage, because he's just going to shuffle, keep his base, and just watch it. You actually have to threaten him in a direction, and that's what this wide step works on. So what you want to do is you want to line up here, treat this like we got to step outside the DB's frame. The DB's square, I got to step over the line to get outside of his frame. So I'm lined up here. All we're doing is just say go. We're throwing my hip. I'm throwing out wide, stepping outside of his frame to try to get him to move off of that platform. Okay, so now you might have noticed that with my front foot, I kind of took like a little prep step, right? That's a step for balance. Wouldn't consider it a false step. It's a step to really push you so you could throw over that line and get some explosion. Some guys like to kick behind to do it. I like to pick up that front foot. Either one's fine. Just make sure that we have balance. We're gonna work about 4 sets of this each side. I'm gonna show you this thing's gonna look full speed. All right, guys, so these next 2 drills that we're going to be talking about are going to be both for a slide release, okay? So what is a slide release? A slide release is where you're lined up. You maybe do this. I like the slide with the move only on a slant route and only on a fade route, right? But you could do this slide and then take off on really any kind of route, whether it's a dig, whether it's a comeback. Only thing I don't like it on is like longer developing routes, like a post corner, out and up, stuff like that, okay? So now, slide release, it's super important that you set a trap for a DB. So I'm lined up right here. I don't want to go flat on the slide because he's just going to shuffle with me. I don't want to go too vertical on the slide, is this DB is just going to be able to get hands. I want to go on like a 45-degree angle. They call that range, because that forces him to make a decision. He could either stay disciplined and sit to the inside. Okay, fine. Next time I have a fade called, I'm going to do the same thing and just take off and beat him to the outside. And then if he wants to shuffle with me, I can work a move, take the inside release, and go run a slant, right? If I have those 2 routes called. So what this drill's for is that green cone, that's the landmark. That's the range that I have to get to. So we're going to work on just sliding all the way over there. So we're going to work on just sliding. Then you're going to reset. We're going to come back the opposite way and slide. And the goal is to get to that spot, because that's that spot that's going to force that DB to move out of there. Notice how I took, just like the wide step, I took that little false step to push me out, because that still applies here. I'm going to show you how this thing's going to look full speed. All right, guys, so now this next variation, it's going to be the same kind of thing for this slide release, right? But now we're going to be attaching a move to it. So I want to work on getting the exact same depth, the exact same range, but now I'm going to throw an in-out release, okay? So if I'm going to slide to the right, it's going to be a slide left-right to take an inside release. Remember, like I said, the only time we work a move like that is on a slant route when I am a third read. This release takes way too long to do it when it's a man-covered situation. We're going to show you a drill after this that will help you take care of that on a slant route, okay? But now we're going to slide to the right, left-right, reset, slide to the left, right, left, and we're actually gonna burst off of the right, left, and mimic like you're catching a slant. If you have a quarterback with you, have him throw you a slant. So again, we're sliding to the green, left, right, resetting there, slide to the white, right, left, and then I'm off. So I'm gonna show you guys how this thing's gonna look full speed. All right, guys, so the last drill we're gonna be talking about is a great drill to work on your diamond release. Okay, so what is a diamond release? A diamond release is when you gotta run a slant against an inside shade DB who may be getting physical, okay? So how you wanna approach that situation is you wanna take off on 3 steps. That's 1, 2, 3 on a 45-degree angle. It's the same kind of range as a slide release, which is why we have this pattern set up the exact same to get this DB to think what? Make him think vertical. I want him to turn his hips, so when I put the brakes on, all it is I just use momentum, swat him by at his hip, swat him by at the back of his shoulder, then slip underneath. So that's what we're gonna be working on. So you're starting at this orange cone. All it is, set, go. You're going 1, 2, 3. Coming back to this one, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm coming off. You have a quarterback give you a ball, act like you're catching a slant, whatever it may be, but it's just 3, then 3. Make sure we're not breaking and taking choppy steps, because when you take choppy steps, that gives that DB time to react. He knows he got beat. He's gonna be crashing on this ball. It's just 3 steps. It's 1, 2, sudden cut. I'm pushing off of this cut, 2, 3, pushing off of that cut. I'm gonna show you this thing's gonna look full speed. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Always appreciate the feedback. Helps me come up with new ideas for videos. So I hope this video gave you guys some value. But also, fellas, again, 1.5 hours of ultimate wide receiver training content, premium content, advanced content on 2-week schedule on how to improve your route running in 10 days only, and then a 49-minute long video, 20 different press releases, when to use each one, and drills for each one with sets and reps. Hope you guys could check that out. Check out our route running Bible. Very first link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.